Hello, Eurogamers. I'm here at J-Popcon 2015, and I'm currently here with Charles Martinet, the voice of Mario.
Yeah. Hello, it's me, Mario. Woohoo! And Luigi too. Ho ho! And Wario, have a rotten day. What about Luigi? And what about baby Luigi? And baby Mario? Let's go! Woohoo!
A lot of voices. So Charles, you have been here for nearly 2 days at the J-Popcon. What's your experience with it so far?
You know, it's just been fantastic. First of all, I love Denmark. I absolutely love Copenhagen, and I've eaten at the best restaurants because I have some Danish friends who got me into these incredible restaurants, and I've had herring and fried fish and shrimp sandwich, and it's been great. Culinarily, it's been an absolutely magnificent experience. We got lucky too because both places that we went to, we really wanted to go to. I couldn't get into last time. There were no tables. This time we went early. We got into both places. Yeah. Fantastic food. The people here at J-Popcon have been absolutely wonderful. I love the convention. I love Denmark. I love Copenhagen. You know, it's a great city, and the people are so nice. Everyone at J-Popcon has been super nice. We've done autographs and photographs with fans, but also I've seen the events like the cosplay events, and they have all kinds of tournaments and things that are it's just great. You know, I have the best life because I love recording video games. I love working with Nintendo, doing the games, the advertising, the whole thing. And then I get this incredible joy of coming out and meeting fans. And all over the world, Mario fans are fantastic. And of course, it's my first event ever in Denmark, and I get to see that Mario fans here in Denmark are also number one.
There's plenty of us.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great thing. You know, I've been doing this now for 24 years, and to have people come up and say, "I grew up with your voice. Thank you for making my childhood so fun." You know, that sort of thing. It means a lot to me, and it's remarkable how, as a life lesson, one day turns into a week, turns into a month, turns into a year, turns into a lifetime. Yeah. So you better have fun.
And as you said, you are usually the voice we think of when we play a Mario game or any other Nintendo game where you have been doing some voice acting.
Yeah.
How has your work with Nintendo influenced your life per se? How can you how have your life turned out differently than you expected as a younger?
Well, you know, I had no expectation ever of being a voiceover actor. I had no anticipation of being an actor. I was going to be a diplomat in London or Paris, you know, in my version of reality. But life has this great way of when you are seeking happiness, when that's your goal is happiness, when your goal is self-fulfillment, expression of who you are, fulfilling your dreams or creating dreams and living your passion, you never know what's going to happen. So, you know, I had no idea, and a friend of mine called me up and said, "Come and audition for this part. It's for a trade show in Las Vegas." I had no idea who Mario was, who Nintendo was, and then 24 years later, I realized I've been given the gift of playing my favorite character in the whole wide world, with my favorite company in the whole wide world, people that are just great and have tremendous passion and love for video games. You know, the reason games are made at Nintendo is because it's fun, and the gift that we have is the gift of joy and the gift of fun. You know, I think the way I've heard this story, I am not even sure, but I can easily see this, is that after doing Mario Galaxy 1, the people that created it had so much fun that they created Galaxy 2 because it was so much fun. Mr. Miyamoto said, "Well, if you're enjoying continuing making new pieces of the universe and globes and worlds and new gravity fields and new villains, then let's make it 2. And it was unprecedented to do that. And I think that 2 was even I mean, how can you rate the greatest and the greatest? Two of the greatest games I've ever played. And so, playing for 24 years with that company, whose culture is joy and fun and making great games, well, that's changed my life a lot, because my philosophy to begin with is have fun, and to be given the gift of being able to play with so many great people has been really, really joyful.
Yeah. As you mentioned, you have worked a lot with Nintendo, and since J-Popcon is a festival celebrating the Japanese popular culture, how would you say have Japanese culture in any way affected your life? Have you adapted some of the cultural themes or the traditional things they do in Japan? Have you adapted to some of them?
I can tell you that being in Japan, going to Japan, is so fun, and people are so nice. You get treated like a king. It's so nice. Just everything in their culture. You get into an elevator, and you immediately, that person holds the door open for everyone else, and then that person or someone else will hold the door open so everybody else can get out of the elevator. It's a very, very kind and generous and hospitable culture. Amazing. Just amazingly wonderful and kind. I don't have any Japanese themes, but I certainly aspire to have that level of caring and compassion and courtesy as the Japanese. And I've loved at J-Popcon seeing the kimonos and the wonderful tea ceremonies and all the different aspects. Fantastic fun. And the belt is an obi.
Yeah. We learned that too just a couple of hours ago.
I learned that in the New York Times crossword puzzle.
Okay. Now, many here know what a voice actor actually does, but how is the feeling of being a voice actor? How does it feel to kind of being able to be a voice of such an iconic character in this time?
It's such a joy and such an honor. To me, as I say, coming to a convention and meeting fans all around the world is so great. It's very few people who get to see and feel the impact of their work. Yeah. But for me, it's like I feel like Santa Claus here. It's like, oh, thanks for the gift, Santa. Well, ho, 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 my pleasure. You've been a good little boy, a good little girl, ho, ho. It feels like that. My life is so full of that gift, and I had no idea when I started doing Mario's voice that Mario would be this incredible character with longevity and like it's had 30 years of absolute joy. Yeah. For me now, 24 years of absolute joy, and it's this incredible integrity of that culture of wanting to make great games that makes the games consistent. The Mario of today is the same Mario that was in 8-bit. Yeah. You can see the same joy and enthusiasm. You can see that the adventure is just expanded into side-scrolling, and then 3 dimensions, and then off the couch and moving, and from one place to the next. The technology is driven forward by the incredible desire to make fun for people, so what could be better than that, and to be a part of that, what an honor and a joy. And then to be able to come to a place like this and meet fans who say, oh, I love your work, you make my childhood. What could be better, what a gift.
Now, turning away from Nintendo a little bit.
Okay.
We have done some research, and we have seen you have done some other video game character roles in your on your resume. You have some.
I have.
What is your favorite non-Nintendo character?
Well, I have to say, my favorite, of course, is Mario to begin with. Yeah. I love every job I do. It's a funny thing because if someone calls me up and say, we want you to do an ad for cacao pots that are black, I'll go, oh boy, cacao pots that are black, wahoo! I'm so happy. I'll be so happy to do that. But I have really enjoyed a lot of characters. I really. I enjoyed being King of the Dead in Lord of the Rings. There's something about just being, like the king of dead people. I've got a bone to pick with you, as my friend over there said today. It's great. And then I really enjoyed being a Parthenax too. That was really fun, you know. What brings you to the throat of the world, you know, and trying to learn dragon, you know.
Now, as you mentioned before, the video game industry have evolved a lot, even though the characters remain as joyful as ever. But as a seasoned voice actor, how do you feel the video game business has changed over the years? Is it heading in the right direction in your perspective, or is something? Where is it heading, do you think?
Well, you know, I think that's a great question. Not one that I'm really qualified to answer. You know, for me, I work for a company whose joy it is to make games. That's the direction that I want to be in. That's the direction I believe the industry always will go in. And there's a place for everybody in that. You know, there's a place for other platforms and other games that, you know, there's a certain wholesomeness in the games that I'm associated with, which I'm really, really grateful for. You know, I love that my legacy will be, woohoo, you know, that people will think that, you know. That makes me very happy. But there's plenty of space for everything. It's great entertainment. Video games are wonderful entertainment. There are things that I love about people that, you know, I visit military bases sometimes, and I meet these fantastic families, you know, and the father will say to me, you know, I really appreciate what you do. I played Mario games when I was a kid, and now, you know, I bonded with my dad, and now I'm bonding with my son the same way. You know, that is absolutely spectacular. That there are ways that you can interpret, like video games. You know, as someone was asking me yesterday, well, it seems like it's a lonely thing, and, you know, geeks and, you know, people will become antisocial. And I said, well, but that's ridiculous. You come to a convention like this and see how antisocial people are. People are in costumes and meeting people that will be their friends for life, and playing games and dressing as their favorite characters, and meeting other people that they're other favorite characters. And you see these friendships for lives, and you see people dedicating months creating a Mario costume or a Princess Peach costume. It's just absolutely spectacular. Link, you know, is here, and Zelda is here. You know, you see people who are developing their passions, who, for in an event like this, are having the greatest time being together, meeting people. It's everything that you could possibly want. So where is it going? Hopefully just continuing forward into more and more of this, you know.
There was actually some, I saw 2 or 3 different Marios around here.
I know, it's great, isn't it? And I love the different variety. Some people look, you know, it's like, well, I look a little bit like Mario, or, you know, here's an interpretation. I've seen female Marios, and I'm like, woohoo, you know, it's like, wow, you know. It's all about the fun and the joy, and that's the greatest thing about video game. It's a wonderful entertainment arena for everybody that wants to play it.
As last question, we've seen a lot of games with you, and you have done a wonderful job, if I may say so myself.
Thank you.
What's next in line for you? Is it more games?
Well, I sure hope it's more games. I'm not really looking to do that much else. You know, I have a great life. When I'm not doing Mario games, I'm doing shows like this and meeting fans, which I absolutely love. And when I'm not doing those two things, I'm generally just traveling for fun. You know, I'll be going abroad. Well, I'm abroad already, but I'm going to a different abroad, you know, in a couple of days, and then from there I'm going to another country. I love to explore the world, and that's, you know, that's one of my great passions, is different food and art and culture and light. You know, if you really see that if you go in Spain or Italy or Germany or Denmark, the light is actually different. I'm fascinated by that, you know. So I'll just keep doing more video games. I'd love to keep doing Mario for at least another 25 years. I have to get, right, I'm at 24, I need to get to 25 and then to 50, right? That's the next goal. You know, just having fun and doing what I love to do. And that's doing the Mario games. That's coming to cons all around the world. That's signing autographs and meeting fans of Mario and spending my time traveling. And I would say that I would wish that for everybody at Eurogamer, or all the people that are watching, you know, the whatever fans, but whoever you are, is live your dream. You know, life is so short, and we all have an end point. You know, there's a place where it will be game over. And so you should live your life a little bit like a video game. You know, you wake up in the morning, choose the character you're going to be, choose and make choices as you go through your day. When you face adversity, is it going to be as, or is it going to be like, okay, let's go? You know, how are you going to do it? You know, and that's a joy for me of being this character. Is I have a model that comes from inside of me of attitude and thoughts and feelings. But two, live your passions and develop your dreams and find out what you love to do and do that. It might be driving a garbage truck or construction or whatever it is. Do it with passion and joy and love what you do, you know. And if you happen to love driving a garbage truck, also get an education just as a backup job. Yeah. Because it never hurts to have an education, you know, and care about each other. Care about each other. That's a wonderful thing about a place like J-Popcon and every con that I go to. I see people who are genuinely kind and very caring. The organizers here are making sure that everybody's safe, and the people here are just so nice to each other. You know, they are just bonding together for life, and that's a great thing to do. So I would say seek those opportunities where you can bond and make friends for life. And be your own best friend for life.
It's a Japanese way of life.
It is, isn't it? Yeah, it is.
Well, Charles, thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you very much. And thank you very much for playing my games.